Ever wonder what really goes on behind those multi-million dollar athlete endorsement deals? It's not always about the best player or the coolest brand. Sometimes it's about social media numbers, personal values, or even behind the scenes politics. And here's what draws me in. Female athletes are now the most marketable people in the world. Forget influencers, brands are cashing in on athletes. But what's really driving those deals and who's actually benefiting? Let's break it down. Hi, I'm Ready Set Girl, the most marketable creator who's still yet to get a sponsorship. And welcome back to the Ready Set Girl show. Let's start with the obvious question. Why do we care so much about athlete endorsements? Well, endorsements aren't just about slapping a logo on a jersey. They're about influence, and in today's world, influence equals money. Female athletes in particular have cracked the code. Think about Serena Williams, Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, PV Sindhu. They're just as much a part of internet culture as TikTok stars are, but with the credibility of being world-class athletes. And don't worry, I'll get to the good endorsements and some more questionable endorsements soon. So that makes them gold for brands. In fact, studies show that people are more likely to buy something endorsed by a female athlete than a traditional influencer. But why? Because who doesn't want to be as strong and powerful and incredible and just as cool as like Simone Biles or Smriti Mandana? Also, female athletes are thought of as more trustworthy because I think there's an impression that athletes don't need to do the endorsements, whether that's true or not. There's also an implicit belief that someone with such a big brand would do due diligence on a product they're promoting. An athlete isn't going to use a food brand or wellness brand that doesn't ensure their peak performance. I also feel like I'd be a miss if I didn't at least acknowledge pretty privilege. Elite athletes are some of the most attractive looking people on the planet. They're usually at their physical peak, are very aware of how they treat their body, and usually have the money and resources to make themselves feel secure in their appearance. It's no secret, attractive people sell more, and women online are often objectified. So it comes as no surprise that female athletes end up being some of the most sought after endorsements. They're brand friendly, trustworthy, attractive, and come with built-in followings. But here's the thing, it's not enough anymore to be just good at your sport. Athletes also need to be marketable online. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube aren't just platforms for fun, they're income streams. In some cases, athletes make more from their brand deals than their actual salary. So why do these deals happen? For brands, it's about trust and reach. Athletes come with a built-in audience who believe in them. For athletes, it's about financial security, especially in women's sports where salaries don't often match the men's game. But there's also a deeper motivation. Athletes are realizing that they are brands in themselves. They're not just playing a sport, they're curating a persona, building a story, and selling that story to the world. This is where it gets complicated. Athletes today have to balance being themselves with being marketable. Do they post about social justice? Do they take a stand on politics? Do they partner with a brand that doesn't align with their values? People are always saying athletes shouldn't comment on political matters, blah blah blah, they should stick to playing. Well, I don't agree. Sport is political, it always has been. It's just another battleground where proxy political wars are fought out, especially for female athletes. They have to talk, speak up, and fight for their right to be there and how they're treated. It's not always easy. Sometimes athletes have to turn down massive deals because it clashes with what they believe in. Other times they compromise because the money and exposure are just too hard to ignore. And then there's the long game. Athletes are using endorsements to build legacies beyond sport. Take Serena Williams. She's of course a tennis legend. She's an entrepreneur, a venture capitalist, and a cultural icon. That's intentional brand building. And since we're talking about Serena, let's talk about some questionable endorsements and the effect that can have. One of the most respected athletes in history, someone who's inspired millions with her strength and resilience. Sticking it to the man was her whole brand. Recently, she signed a deal to basically become the face of Ro, a weight loss drug company, essentially promoting Ozempic. When I saw this, I was a little heartbroken. Of course, she can do whatever she wants with her body, no one is questioning that, but I have a problem with the way that she's promoting it because it risks sending a toxic message. You can be a world-class athlete and eat well and do some of the most difficult things a human body can do, and it's still not enough if you don't look a certain way. Especially when we're living in a time where skinny is back more insidiously than ever, this sends a dangerous message. For young fans who look up to Serena, it blurs the lines between empowerment and questionable marketing. Should athletes, especially women, who are constantly scrutinized for their bodies, be endorsing products that play into unhealthy beauty standards? It's a reminder that not all partnerships are positive, and that being marketable can sometimes clash with being responsible. Now let's talk about us, the fans. When your favorite athlete endorses something, you're way more likely to consider buying. That's just how our brains work. Female athletes in particular have a massive pull here. Fans trust them and look up to them, and that trust converts into consumer behavior. I, for one, am a sucker for anything endorsed by a female athlete. Suni Lee is wearing Love Shack Fancy, sign me up. I've also been wondering how I can get a case of Unwell ever since it sponsored the NWSL. But this is where the lines blur. At what point does fandom turn into consumerism? Are you supporting your favorite player, or are you being marketed to without realizing it? This doesn't mean endorsements are bad, but it does mean we need to be conscious. Don't just buy into the hype. Think about the story behind the product and the partnership. The future is female. Brands are realizing that women athletes drive engagement like no one else, not just on the pitch or court, but online. It's a billion-dollar industry. Get with it or you will get left behind. Thank you for watching. See you next time.